I've played Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 basically since it came out in 2020, but I've never played its predecessor, Flight Sim X, so today, that's exactly what we're doing. This is Flight Sim X. We have it open here. We have the Steam edition. One thing I noticed last night is the UI is pretty awful. But now this is a game from like a decade ago, or more than a decade, a long time, like 15 years ago or something, maybe longer than that. It's very old, but it was being updated up until Flight Sim 2020. So in theory, the UI should be better, but there's a lot of things to go through here. So we have missions, we have multiplayer, and then there's other things. Hey, if you remember the good old days of YouTube watching people do ATC and Flight Sim X, then you know what I'm talking about. But we're gonna mess around with Free Flight today. And also, this game is $25, which is kind of crazy for a game this old, I won't lie. So here's our planes. We have a, well, there's a helicopter, A321, all this stuff. I'll slowly scroll through so you guys can see really not a lot of options. Now, I'm sure there's obviously tons of free, I know there's tons of free stuff for this, but we'll get in something classic at first. What do you think about the A321, folks? Let's make sure it's daytime. You can click dusk, day, night, dawn, and then you can obviously change the time as well. We'll do day. What airport are we thinking? Okay, JFK. We're doing it. So here is our A321. Now, when I was setting up keybinds last night, I also noticed something that is a little bit annoying. So in the new Flight Sim, if you're just sitting in the cockpit like this, you can just use scroll wheel to zoom in and out, which you can't do in this. And you can hold right click and turn, and it turns for you. Now, it doesn't work. So what you have to do is you have to hold space, then you get this little different cursor, then you can look around and use scroll wheel. So you have to hold space the whole time, which I would argue is a little bit less intuitive, but that's neither here nor there. Also, the exterior view is not great. So here is a locked spot exterior, and the same thing here, you have to hold space and move around. Let's take a look at graphics. Graphics are always important. The plane itself, definitely very similar to the Flight Sim X conversions that we have seen in Flight Sim 2020. So yeah, what I mean by that is not the best. Anyway, runway doesn't look terrible, definitely lacking a little bit of detail. And then there's just kind of random trees. And actually those buildings in the background don't look half bad. It kind of, the graphics themselves remind me a little bit of earlier X-Plane graphics. Let's go back inside though. Virtual cockpit. Let's look around in here. This is actually, when I first loaded in yesterday, better than I thought it was gonna be. This cockpit looks much better than Flight Sim X conversion cockpits because obviously not everything transfers correctly. Like if this was a freeware plane and Flight Sim 2020, I would not be disappointed. And yes, you can interact with things in the cockpit, as you can see. Let us start to power up. And there's also head movement. So when you, like if you slam on brakes, the camera kind of goes like this, like you would do in real life because you're slowing down. Almost at 100 knots, there's 100 knots. Also, there's no like heads up display on the exterior, which is kind of like X-Plane. I know there's ways to kind of do it in X-Plane, but not like Flight Sim 2020. There's 140. And it looks like we are off the ground. Look at that. Let's get a kind of level here. And I'm not gonna put the gear up until we get to the external view, so we can hopefully see what that animation looks like. Okay, A321, let's see what the gear animation looks like. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Okay, and here we are. There's a better view of that. Supposed to be New York over there. Let's go look at it. Let's go look at it. Also, we will be testing crash physics because we gotta test crash physics, guys. Yeah, one annoying thing with having to use, I mean, the ground actually doesn't look that bad. I'm honestly surprised. This is a straight vanilla game, by the way. I have not done anything to this. And the ground actually doesn't look that bad. Let's go look at the airport, or not the airport. Let's go look at Manhattan, and then we will come back and we'll do our first landing, and then we'll get into some more stupid testing. Yeah, so downtown is looks pretty lackluster, and I also turned the graphics up as high as they could go for everything, I believe. So this should be, in theory, as good as it's gonna look. And we're getting 25 FPS, and this is with a 4090 and a 7950 X3D. It's not stuttery though, which you can get by with low FPS as long as it's not stuttery. Stuttery is really what makes it bad. Like you could fly a Flight Sim with 20 FPS and be okay, but if you're stuttering, you're absolutely screwed. There's the Empire State Building. What does Central Park look like? Okay. Not the worst, not the best, but overall, not awful, not great. Let's go try to land this thing. Okay, so we are, we're going very quick, to say the least. I'll make sure I do a more, traditionally good landing later on. We'll see if this plane can even stop. Someone in chat said that holding F2 at idle throttle is reverse thrust. So I'll see if that works, but I do need to bind it to an actual button as well. Here we go. I can't really flare because we're going like 8 million knots here, so... Oh, we're gonna land really late. This is gonna be, it's gonna be bad. Let's just get on the ground. Okay, there we go. I didn't hear anything. Is it F2? I can't tell if it's reverse thrusting. We're just bouncing over and over. Are we reverse thrusting or not? Oh, well. There we go. Oh, I was reverse thrusting. Oh, whoa. What just happened there? That was interesting. Okay, let's switch it over. We're gonna get a different plane and we're gonna try this again. Here we go, 747. I'm holding spacebar, zoom out. Now this cockpit actually looks better than a lot of the 747 Flight Sim X planes or Flight Sim X conversions in Microsoft Flight Sim. Anyway, our goal here is to do a normal-ish landing. Let's add some flaps. Let's try an exterior takeoff. We may have to do a static takeoff because this doesn't look like the longest runway ever. The 747 has been unleashed. Now I can't see airspeed or anything because like I said, there's no HUD for exterior view. And you can tell this camera from this exterior view wasn't meant to be flown with just because of how it follows the plane is very weird. Okay, nose is up. I don't want a tail strike. Come on. That's a tail strike a little bit. And we are off the ground. I also don't know how much weight we have here. Definitely a decent amount. It feels pretty heavy. Looks like we got maybe a little bit of wing flex too. This isn't half bad, guys. Let's get rid of some flaps here, going 230 knots. We'll go out to the mountains and then we'll loop around. Let's go idle here and let's start this turn. Let's do a very aggressive turn here. Do you have any kind of map? Is there any kind of map I can pull up? Is that a thing or no? Oh, crap. Oh, that was scary. That was a map, but it scared me. I wish there was a map I could see while I'm like flying, you know? We got a lot less airspeed to deal with here. Last time we were going like 370 knots or something insane. Airport in sight. Our runway lines have shown up. About 10 times better approach than the last one. I'm okay landing at 107. Remember, Aaron, press F2. You need to press F2 when we touch down. There we go. There we go. I think that's touchdown. F2. Are we reverse thrusting? That was very smooth, actually. Oh, yeah. I keep pressing right click to try to change where the camera's at. Okay, I don't know how reverse thrust works, but apparently it ain't working for me. That was actually good. Instant replay? Ooh. Oh, here we go. Heck yeah. Why did they go from this replay that actually looks pretty good to the replay that there is in Microsoft Flight Sim? Like, what? Let's see how this landing was. Yeah, see pretty high AOA there. Definitely not the smoothest. But we still stopped with plenty of space left. Okay, 2 more things. I want to try crash physics, number 1. And I want to try a dumb landing / takeoff. So let's go do those. Okay, so F-18. Cockpit. Really not bad. A little bit, you know, rough around the edges some places, but the screens look good. HUD looks pretty good. Everything looking decent. Let's get on the outside here. There we go. Whoa, we are in his rear end there. Whoa, I didn't even press the rudder and we started going right. That was interesting. We're like drifting. What did I do? Like you see, I'm like just gliding across the yeah. I don't know what's going on. I'm just like drifting. That's crazy. I'm terrible. We're off the ground. That's what matters. Gear up. Do I not have afterburner? I don't know how. Is there an afterburner bind? I assume there is because I ain't seen it at the moment. Okay, we're at the F-18. Our goal here is just to test the crash physics anyway. What would be? I guess that would be a good angle to do it from. This one. Y'all ready? Crash physics. Here we go. F-18. Into the ground. Okay, wait. I need to turn on crash physics? Okay, how do I do that? Time for this crash physics action again. I'm gonna crash right here because I don't want to get into the houses and stuff. Because if we get into the houses, then it's gonna be blocked by trees and everything. Let's just see. Wow. Yeah, that was great. Crash physics, kind of non-existent. But hey, that's okay. So we're facing... This doesn't even look like St. Bart's. Oh my gosh. What? This does not look like St. Bart's. There's the hill, I guess. Let's see. St. Bart's taking off over the hill. Learjet 45. I think I can do it. The Learjet's a quick little plane. There's 80 knots. There's 90. There's 100. Oh yeah, we're doing this. Oh yeah, we're doing this. Look at that. Easy, aggressive takeoff. We gotta try landing. God, these views are atrocious. Oh my gosh, these views are atrocious. It's nice to have a flyby option, but the locked spot is definitely the best exterior view, even though it's still not fantastic. I can't even see the runway. Oh, there it is. We're trying it. Come on, baby. Do I have auto throttle on? It sounds like it for some reason. We're going through this tree. Hopefully it doesn't detect it as crashing. Don't detect it. Yes. No! Okay, this isn't looking bad. We got to get over this building, though. Over the building will probably be our hardest challenge here. Can't even see the building in first person. Okay, come on. Here we go. Get down. F2. Is it working? Is F2 working? I don't know. It's not! Work reverse thrust! I'm losing my mind. It sometimes does it and it sometimes doesn't. Okay, so Flight Sim X, of course that was not comprehensive in any way, shape, or form. Few things I noticed. Physics felt fine. It's pretty ugly though, I won't lie. And the UI is also pretty terrible. But overall, I don't think it's bad. There's a lot of freeware for it, but for $25, I would rather have X-Plane 11. I don't know how much X-Plane 11 costs right now, but if I had to choose, X-Plane 11 all day.